When I first picked up Dragon Quest Builders 2, I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into, as I never played the first game. But from the moment I turned on my Nintendo Switch, I was captivated. And coming from somebody who isn't a big fan of building games, such as Minecraft, what exactly attracted me to this game? And more importantly, why did I become so addicted to it? Is it the art style, the charming quick-witted dialogue, or the fun story? Maybe it was the exploration, the puzzles, or building my own town with a community that felt lifelike. And see, that is the thing that makes Dragon Quest Builders 2 so special. It's a blend of so many genres and games, but done right. At times it reminded me of Zelda, at other times a bit of Animal Crossing, and of course we can't forget its inspiration, Minecraft. But it's all wrapped into an RPG adventure with a real story and likable characters. It's as if it took what makes each of these games so good, and somehow without becoming unfocused, it meshed them into an addictive build-em RPG. This is my review of Dragon Quest Builders 2. When you first start up Dragon Quest Builders 2, you're a prisoner on a boat. You learn a few things to get you started on your adventure, meet your new allies on an island that you get washed up on, and it acts as a short tutorial before the story starts opening up and you sail to a new island. I say short, but really the entire first chapter acts as a tutorial in many ways. And the first chapter is no short thing either, which spans about 12 hours. And I understand that can be intimidating, but I do encourage you to keep playing. The truth is, it's always fun, even during the slow points in the game, and you'll always have something to do. You're constantly learning one new thing after another, but yet you're never overloaded either. At times you'll be building the community a new room such as a bathroom or a place to cook, or maybe you'll be gardening in which you need to find a big worm to create fresh soil. On the surface it may sound mundane, but as you adventure the island with your amnesic partner Malroth, you have to fight monsters and search dungeons for new recipes, or find rare items to help advance your community. This is where the RPG mechanics take place, and you can level up Malroth and yourself. You can build new armor and new weapons to become even stronger, though if there's one downfall to Dragon Quest Builders, is that the combat is a weak point. While the monsters are well crafted and look great, they tend to be a little boring to fight with lackluster mechanics. Basically, as long as you're more powerful than the monster, you just whack them until they die. They can paralyze you, put you to sleep, etc., but there never seems to be any real danger. There's no evade button or block, you just hit them and run away when their attacks start to animate. With combat being one of the main pillars of the game, it's a bit disappointing, but by no means a deal breaker either. At times, fights can be interesting, such as when you have to defend the town where battles become just a little bit more chaotic and villagers join in to help. It looks cool at the very least, but it still is more of the same. Just keep hitting and eventually they will die. There, however, is interesting boss battles in which you have to do something special to find a weak point, much like a puzzle in Zelda boss battles. This is where I do find a little bit more enjoyment with the combat, as the boss battles can be fun. One of the other main pillars in Dragon Quest Builders is its exploration, and you will have several islands to explore. In each new chapter, you visit a new island and help a community in some way or the other, and these are no small islands by any stretch of the means. While going through Chapter 1, I was blown away in just how big the first chapter was. As I said, it took me roughly 12 hours just to get by the first island, and there was just so much to explore, from hidden caverns, several quests, things to build, and puzzles to unlock rare items. It's actually insane on how much there is to do in Dragon Quest Builders 2. And again, it's well done. The villagers also always had new tasks set out for me to advance the story, which kept things interesting. And that was something that really surprised me. The story's actually very entertaining, and it wasn't something I was expecting from a game such as this. And that is one thing you need to be aware of, is that Dragon Quest Builders 2 is a very heavy dialogue game. The dialogue is very well written, with charming and likable characters, but you'll be constantly reading, so just be prepared for that. I appreciate the well-crafted story myself, but if you were expecting just to build things, do remember this isn't just another Minecraft. Now, once you do finish up on the first island, you can then return to the hub island that you originally washed up on shore at the beginning of the game. This is where you can bring back all the new things you learned. You will have then learned to craft new materials such as a roof or a bathhouse. You've become stronger with new armor and new weapons. You've learned to garden and cook new foods, so you can make a new utopia on this desolate island you washed upon. You can bring back villagers from other islands that you've befriended, and this is where your playground begins. An island you can create whatever you dream of. You then advance to a whole new island and continue to learn to become the best builder you can. And there's no shortage on things you can learn. This truly is a big game. And the creative tools are phenomenal. There is so much stuff that you can create in Dragon Quest Builders 2. I don't usually care for build 'em games or life sims, but there was something this game had that I feel others didn't, and that was a focus. I was building things not just for me, but for a community. I had blueprints to create not just what I wanted, but what they wanted as well. You can even get your community to help you build blueprints or garden for you. While that may take some of the creative freedom away, I found it to be very useful in the story. And again, the story isn't just a side thing, it's actually well done. Overall, there's so much stuff to like about Dragon Quest Builders 2. A story that keeps you entertained, likable characters, a huge beautiful world to explore with puzzles, and a vast amount of creation tools. Sure, the combat isn't the best ever, and that is disappointing, but nonetheless, Dragon Quest Builders 2 is a great game with so much going for it. It's very addicting, and you can get absolutely lost in it.